In March 2021, the internet trembled. 250,000 Microsoft Exchange email servers hacked, sensitive emails, business secrets, US government data, all gone in a matter of hours. The US pointed a finger at China, but this wasn't some random cyber attack. It was a glimpse into a much bigger war. A war that's been raging in the dark for decades. No bullets, no bombs, no headlines, just lines of code slipping through firewalls, stealing secrets, planting traps. How did it start? And where does it end? This is the story of the cyber war between the United States and China, a silent war that's rewriting the rules of power and reaching into your data, your life, and your future without you even knowing. Back in the late 90s, the internet was a wild new frontier, untamed, unregulated, full of potential. For most people, it was a tool, a way to connect, email, instant messaging, funny cat videos. But for governments, it was something else entirely. A new battlefield, a place where power and dominance could be redefined. China saw it first. They couldn't match America's military strength, not in tanks, not in warplanes, not in nukes, but in cyberspace, they had a chance. The goal was simple: close the tech gap with the West. No need to spend years and billions on research. Just steal it. China started building secret military hacking units. Their job was to steal, spy, and disrupt blueprints, trade secrets, intellectual property. If it had value, China wanted it. By the early 2000s, American companies in aerospace, telecom, and defense started noticing things were vanishing. Blueprints, patents, government files, all gone. But the US didn't just sit still. The NSA became a cyber powerhouse, and in 2009, the US Cyber Command, also known as US Cybercom, was created. It sent a clear message. Cyberspace is now a battlefield, just like land, sea, air, and space. And America wasn't just going to play defense, it was going to dominate. Dominate with digital weapons designed to infiltrate, disrupt, and even destroy. What started as a few scattered Chinese hacks was now something bigger. An invisible war. Two superpowers. Fighting in the shadows. No bombs dropped. No shots fired, but the damage could be just as devastating. And like every war, it's everyday people, you and me, who pay the price. For years in the early 2000s, the US was being poked. Little hacks here, a stolen file there, tiny breaches, nothing major. A game of cat and mouse that no one really talked about until one day when it all changed. It began with a breach called Operation Aurora in late 2009. Google, Adobe, Morgan Stanley, big names, all breached. Chinese hackers found a security weakness in Internet Explorer, a hole no one knew existed. A simple click and boom, the hackers were in, stealing source code, trade secrets, even spying on Gmail accounts. Whose Gmail accounts? Chinese human rights activists. And the fingerprints of the attack pointed back to China. They were not just some random hackers. They were hacking groups linked directly to the Chinese military. Google had had enough. They went public and called out China by name. A bold move, because in the world of cybersecurity, that almost never happens. The cyber war was no longer quiet. Fast forward 5 years to 2015. The Office of Personnel Management, OPM, was breached. The vault that holds the files of millions of US government workers, FBI agents, CIA officers, Pentagon staff, all the people who keep America safe. Chinese hackers broke in and they stole everything. Fingerprints, background checks, financial records, over 21 million files. It was a national security disaster, the 9/11 of data breaches. One US official put it like this: imagine China built a map of everyone in the US government who has access to sensitive information, who they are, where they live, their spouses, their kids. That's what they just did. The scale was unthinkable and the precision was terrifying. The world held its breath. America, the global superpower, had been hit hard. Would the US strike back? And why did China feel justified in pulling off such a massive, devastating attack? Did the US have it coming? After Operation Aurora in 2009, the world saw China as the clear aggressor in the cyberwar. But in 2013, 2 years before the OPM hack, everything changed. That's when a man named Edward Snowden flipped the script. Snowden, once a contractor at the NSA, walked out with thousands of classified files. And when those files hit the internet, the world was shocked. Turns out, the US wasn't just defending itself. It wasn't just sitting back, warding off Chinese hackers. No, America was fighting back, hard. Buried in Snowden's leaks was the name of a secret unit, Tailored Access Operations, TAO. Think of them like the Navy SEALs of cyberspace. Elite, ruthless, surgical. Their job? Not to defend, not to wait, but to strike first. Break into enemy networks, steal secrets, plant bugs, and create backdoors, just in case things ever went nuclear. One of their boldest missions was called Operation Shot Giant. From 2007 to 2012, TAO had one big target: Huawei. Huawei was the backbone of China's communications. They built the networks that power China's phones, emails, and data. Control Huawei, and you control everything in China. So the NSA went in, deep. They hacked Huawei's servers, stole their source code, mapped out their entire network, even the parts linked to China's military. If all-out war broke out, the US would know how to shut all Chinese communications down. And TAO didn't stop at Huawei. They went after China's military too. Satellite systems, missile guidance, weapons research, you name it. TAO also broke into universities, telecom giants, and even critical research labs. For years, the world thought China was the only bad guy, the thief, the spy, the aggressor. But Snowden's leaks changed everything. The whole world now knew that America isn't just the victim in this war. It is also an aggressor. And perhaps that's why China felt justified to hit back hard in 2015, 2 years after the leaks, with the devastating OPM hacks. Both sides are playing dirty. No one is innocent. The cyber war has evolved beyond just stealing secrets. The new target? Not emails, not blueprints, but the systems that make a country work. Critical infrastructure, power grids, water supplies, airports and oil pipelines, the very arteries of a modern nation. Chinese hackers aren't just spying, they are slipping into the heart of America's systems, planting digital bombs, malware that could sit undetected for months, even years, just waiting for the right moment to go boom. The hackers aren't some random Chinese keyboard warriors in some Beijing internet cafe. We're talking about groups like APT-41 and Volt Typhoon, elite squads, funded, trained, and backed by the Chinese state. Volt Typhoon in particular became infamous. They infiltrated telecom networks, tapped into water supplies, slipped into power grids, watching waiting, setting traps that could be triggered with a single command. By 2023, the alarm bells were blaring. Chinese malware was lurking inside US energy grids, pipelines, and ports. The question was no longer if these systems could be taken down, but when. And of course, America is fighting back. While Chinese hackers are planting traps inside US infrastructure, the NSA is doing the same in China. US cyber teams are launching their attacks deep into Chinese networks, targeting energy grids, transportation systems, even communications infrastructure. In 2025, China made it public. They accused America of hacking their critical systems during the Asian Winter Games. Power grids, airports, telecoms were under assault. The US stayed silent, but experts agree the attack had America's fingerprints all over it. It was never a one-sided war. If a real conflict ever erupted, China could unleash chaos in America. The lights go out everywhere. Hospitals lose power. Traffic grinds to a halt as signals go dark. Planes sit frozen on tarmacs, grounded indefinitely. Empty grocery store shelves. Banks freeze. ATMs stop working. No Wi-Fi, no phone service, no way to call for help. But America has their own weapons, their own digital bombs, ready to do the same and cripple China's infrastructure, just waiting for the signal. This is the new front lines of warfare, and sides are locked and loaded, waiting for someone to make the first move. Could your every click, every scroll also become a weapon in this war? The US government certainly thinks so. America has been watching the TikTok app for years. Washington fears that what looks like an innocent app for dances and memes is a tool for spying, manipulation, and for pushing Chinese propaganda into the 170 million Americans who use it. In 2024, President Biden signed the law. ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, was ordered to sell TikTok to a US company. The Supreme Court backed it. Without a sale by January 19, 2025, TikTok would disappear from US app stores. Billions in ad revenue would vanish. The creator economy would be crushed. The move set off a political firestorm. National security experts called it necessary. Free speech advocates called it dangerous. TikTok creators were terrified. ByteDance scrambled to find a buyer, but the Chinese government made it nearly impossible, banning the export of key algorithms, the very core of what makes TikTok TikTok. And just as the ban seemed inevitable, Donald Trump stepped in. On his first day in office, he slammed the ban as an overreach, a dangerous play that could hurt American creators and throw fuel on an already raging fire with China. And while Trump's move temporarily halts the ban, the clock is still ticking. The US government isn't backing down. ByteDance still has to sell TikTok to an American company or lose access to the world's largest market. As long as the cyberwar rages on, every tap, every like, every video you watch is another piece on the chessboard. The US-China cyberwar, like all wars, is about power. The power to control information, shape narratives, and influence the very world we live in. Both sides are racing to dominate through the invisible world of algorithms. The US pushes for more cyber defenses, building alliances, ramping up offensive capabilities, and passing laws like the TikTok ban. China doubles down on AI, quantum computing, and cyber infiltration, embedding itself deeper into the world's digital infrastructure. So who wins? Who loses? It's not that simple. The truth is, the battleground isn't just over there, it's also right here, in your phone, in your data, in the algorithms that decide what you see and what you don't. So the real question isn't who's winning, It's what we're all losing: our privacy, our freedom, our sense of safety and security in the digital world and the real world. The cyberwar is here to stay, and whether we know it or not, we could all be victims.